Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Anita Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up, in the Dominican Republic, the Tzu Chi Elementary and Middle School in La Romana hosts a graduation ceremony with a special twist. We learn how a care recipient turns from being a recipient to a giver through serving other underprivileged people. Lastly, Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan advocate the right views and right beliefs to observe the lunar July. Following days of heavy rain at the end of July, over 10 provinces in Myanmar now face serious flooding. On August 14th, the volunteers and nuns from a local temple worked overnight to pack 2,500 hot meals that the volunteers then delivered the next day to hungry residents cut off by the floodwaters. Now let's take a closer look at their efforts.
Hot dal and steaming rice thanks to the overnight efforts of the nuns of Karamayama Temple. Soon all this will be in the hands of hungry flood victims.
The flooding in Myanmar has been quite severe. Since we can't join the volunteers in distributing aid in the countryside, we are helping to pack these meals instead. We hope such a disaster does not reoccur. Many of those affected don't have food to eat, so we are preparing these meals for them. This is an effort that brings us a lot of joy. I don't feel tired at all. We Tzu Chi volunteers work as a team. For us older volunteers, it would be difficult for us to go out into the field, so we work here preparing the meals.
The next morning, Yangon volunteers set off from the liaison office. After a 2-hour drive, they boarded boats to take them to villages devastated by the flooding.
We thought that the floodwaters would recede, but in fact they have continued to rise. We have been using bamboo platforms to avoid the waters, and some are already 2 stories high, but the floodwaters will soon go even higher. I saw that residents here were hungry and exhausted, but there was nothing I could do to help, so I notified Brother Lin to ask if the Tzu Chi volunteers could come assist the people here. Now, our only wish is that we have enough food to eat. Any kind of food is okay, so of course we are appreciative of the meals you brought today.
As the floodwaters keep rising in Myanmar, problems continue to accumulate for the country's beleaguered residents. Fortunately, Tzu Chi is also there to bring spiritual and material aid during these worst of times.
Hurricane Georges in 1998 may have devastated the Caribbean nation of the Dominican Republic, but it also brought the help and love of Tzu Chi. After its initial disaster survey, Tzu Chi went on to establish a primary school in the community of La Romana, which has seen more than 1,000 graduates over the past 11 years. But due to changes in the country's educational policy, the middle school division will be closing down this year, which only makes this year's graduation ceremony even more special.
Tzu Chi Elementary and Middle School in La Romana, the Dominican Republic, is hosting its 11th graduation ceremony. With several hundred students graduating, that means several hundred families will have a chance at a better life.
The Dominican Republic government is very thankful for the selfless contribution of the Tzu Chi Foundation, especially to the residents of La Romana.
Most of the residents come from neighboring Haiti and made their way here in hopes of giving their children a better life. Cherishing the opportunity of an education, Donia enrolled in the middle school division and graduated with honors.
I often saw my mother studying very hard. I would always tell her to take a break and continue the next day, but she just continued on. She is my role model. I am extremely happy to witness her accomplishment today.
Though
I'm not young anymore, I believe we can always work to improve ourselves. Thank you, Tzu Chi. You're like family to us and have been watching over us.
Underclassmen send off the graduating class by performing a sign language song, and Tzu Chi volunteers also remind the graduates to pay the love forward in the future.
After founding the first TIMA chapter in Nepal, volunteers took the next step by holding the first Tzu Chi Teachers Association meeting in the country. Principals and teachers from 18 schools gathered at Seabird International School to learn how to integrate Tzu aphorisms into their curriculums.
Ahead of today's meeting, volunteers put on a sign language performance detailing the responsibilities of teachers before explaining its meaning to their audience.
The teacher should be able to tolerate any kind of students. This is like a knife, cut into our flesh, but we still think it's okay and fine.
This is the first meeting of the Tzu Chi Teachers Association in Nepal. Altogether, 67 teachers and principals from 18 schools came to hear volunteers like Ling Tai Kun from Malaysia discuss Tzu Chi's educational philosophy.
The masters' Tzu aphorisms, once they find their way into the schools here in Nepal, will really help the children, help change their fate and the fate of this country for the better.
Participants embraced the idea of Tzu aphorisms as useful and important teaching tools.
Teacher will be good, and the teacher will be good, and students also good, and the family also be good. It means the spirit and the whole towns and the whole countries.
Organize the meetings. I can tell about the little bit the philosophy, the principles, and some of the good ideas and the values. Yeah, and those things I can share with the teachers and the principals.
With this first meeting of the Tzu Chi Teachers Association in Nepal, it won't be long before the wisdom of Tzu aphorisms find its way into the hearts and minds of Nepal's children.
A group of young volunteers in Nepal have also stepped up to form the first Tzu Chi media volunteers team in the country. Next, we meet 3 outstanding young men who have learned much from the Tzu Chi volunteers in the past month.
In Nepal, after a massive earthquake hit the country, 19-year-old Yunesh picked up the pieces of his life and rebuilt his home with the help of Tzu Chi.
After looking at all the situation, Tzu Chi helped us a lot. Tzu Chi helped us in medical side. Tzu Chi helped us to build our tent. Tzu Chi volunteers love us a lot. I still remember the love, care.
Also joining Tzu Chi was Dinesh, who was training to be a Tzu Chi media volunteer. During one of Tzu Chi's events, rain came pouring down. Dinesh ignored the rain as he continued setting up the venue.
Because we are the men, yeah? We are not animals, so that almost men think that everyone to help each other.
These young volunteers have been learning how to become a Tzu Chi media volunteer from more experienced volunteers. Among the young recruits, 26-year-old Suman has the most experience, as he was previously a magazine photographer.
Tzu Chi is not only the relief team, they are giving the smile. Last time I have a job, and after I'm joining the Tzu Chi, I just resigned my job because I wanna be a Tzu Chi volunteer.
Suman is a quick learner and has mastered how to interview, record data, and other skills in just a short time.
He can work independently. I'm currently teaching him how to keep a daily journal, as he's never done that before.
Not only can the local media volunteers help shoot an interview, they are also translators for the Tzu Chi volunteers who don't speak Nepalese.
They have helped us a lot in the past few days. I give them all top marks.
Though these 3 young volunteers are themselves disaster victims, by helping others, they have left behind their own misery to find new meanings in their lives.
Tzu Chi care recipient had a chance to reciprocate by helping clean up the home of another care recipient. Having fully comprehended and experienced the meaning of great love, she vows to help more people in need in the future.
We are truly grateful that you have taken your valuable time to come help clean up the home of our care recipient from top to bottom, so they may live more comfortably. Thank you all very much.
This is your first time here, so you need to watch yourself as you clean in there. Just follow along with the rest of us.
When we first talked to her about cleaning for her, she didn't agree immediately, but later she said her landlord was fed up with her.
Today I'm going to work with everyone and thoroughly clean up this place.
I am very glad. I don't have much of a choice really. I can't move my neck or my legs.
The borough magistrate has brought us trash bag from the district office. We put all the recyclables in here and all the trash in the city trash bag.
This is something that she'll still use, so we're going to package it neatly. She'll want these hangers too, so don't throw them away.
Smelling this odor and seeing the mess in here, I truly feel bad for the people who live here.
She's really a kind-hearted girl. Her son just passed away recently, so we know she's still grieving inside. And it just so happened that we had this clean-up event today, so I thought I'd invite her.
She has a hard time letting go. Even though some things appear as trash to us, they are valuable to her.
I saw the tantrum that the daughter threw, but the volunteers told me that we should be patient with her. It's only normal that she would feel that way.
My daughter, you need to learn to let go. That is the only way. Look at what you did to your dad already. You need to face reality, and no other way about it.
We wanted the care recipient to feel at ease and know that we didn't throw her stuff away carelessly. So we went to a bedding store to get some large, transparent plastic bags to store the items she wants to keep. The mother and daughter are all very happy that we did that.
I feel warm all over inside. I have heard about Tzu Chi's great love, but today I know that love is boundless. When I have a chance, I want to help more people, just like how I was helped.
Remember, we're one family no matter where you go. Even in Vietnam, there's a Tzu Chi office.
To Buddhists, the lunar month of July is considered a month of auspiciousness, joy, and filial piety. To mark this month in the correct way, Tzu Chi volunteers held blessing ceremonies across the Greater Taipei area.
At the lunar 7th month blessing ceremony, class palms replaced the burning of incense. At this occasion, Tzu Chi volunteers advocated the true meaning behind the lunar month of July, while families of the Bali water park explosion burn victims also came to express their appreciation.
I appreciate the volunteers who have given us such spiritual support. Thank you.
My child, who is still in ICU, is no longer in critical condition. I appreciate the Tzu Chi volunteers' companionship. The road ahead is tough, but we will face it together.
About 170 people attended this blessing ceremony held at the Tzu Chi Liaison Office, during which they chanted the Buddha's name to calm their minds and get ready to face the trials ahead. On stage, the young volunteers performed sign language songs with confidence.
Grandpa does sign language at home, so I have learned as well.
She learned sign language from her grandpa and by watching Da Ai TV.
I only watch Da Ai TV. She follows the sign language gestures shown on TV, and her grandpa also teaches her.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Xinzhuang and Taishan districts also held a blessing ceremony, which included a musical concert, with attendees extending their good wishes to the burn victims of the Bali water park explosion.
慈济的整个的理念
Tzu Chi's principles are correct, so I'm willing to bring him here.
那所以其实我也愿意带他来，这也是一个主要的原因。
In this blessing ceremony, Tzu Chi volunteers demystified the superstitions associated with the lunar month of July. Tzu Chi volunteers in Banqiao hold blessing ceremonies during the lunar month of July every year. This year, they again encourage people to stop burning joss papers. Among the attendees is Guo Baolian, who gave up burning joss paper 20 years ago.
Burning joss papers pollutes the air, and joss paper is made from tree bark. When they chop down trees, mudslides are more likely to take place when typhoons come.
Changing traditions is not easy, but Tzu Chi volunteers do not give up and advocate the idea at blessing ceremonies every year.
If we don't burn joss paper, we'll not pollute the air. Then our chests won't feel congested and fires can be prevented. So it is good for the environment.
The lunar 7th month is also a time to show one's appreciation for one's parents. Another blessing ceremony was held in Banqiao, in which the attendees were elementary school students.
I teach them to care about the people around them. This is something necessary for children to learn.
In this blessing ceremony, Tzu Chi volunteers advocated filial piety through a film.
Honoring parents does not mean buying expensive things for them. A good child helps his dad and mom do household chores and studies well.
We are blessed. Some people in remote areas don't have food or parents. I think we should donate to help them.
Marking the auspiciousness of the month, Tzu Chi volunteers encourage children to not only show their gratitude for their parents, but to honor them at all times.
Tzu Chi has long advocated against the practice of burning joss paper, especially during Lunar July. In Xinjiang, Taipei City, to help get this message across to the public, Tzu Chi volunteers performed a short sketch in Fushou Park.
A simple skit helps demystify a superstitious religious practice. To spread the message of the auspiciousness of the month of Lunar July, Tzu Chi volunteers in Xinzhuang are performing in the Fushou Park. The message is to not slaughter animals for special festivals, which hurts the environment.
We can only tell our ancestors that things have now changed as pollution worsens and the planet heats up, so we say please forgive us for not burning joss paper.
I donate the money that I used to buy joss paper with to charity. I do that every month to help people in need.
All it takes to practice proper worship is take on a different perspective, which is not that hard to do.
At Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, some of the burn victims of the Bali water park explosion encouraged each other in doing rehabilitation, and some even practiced sign language to keep their hands flexible. Meanwhile, an 18-year-old burn victim was recently discharged from Far Eastern Memorial Hospital, and Tzu Chi volunteers brought her a wheelchair to help her get around.
He Yihan suffered burns to 50% of her body. Tzu Chi volunteers accompany her while she received treatment at Far Eastern Memorial Hospital and visited her after she returned home.
The body is no longer beautiful, but you can still use it to do what you want to do and walk the correct path.
Although He can walk now, she needs to shift her weight to one leg when she stands. Tzu Chi volunteers brought her a donated wheelchair to help her get around. He tried sitting in the wheelchair as volunteers explain how to use it. Paying the love forward, He and her family have also made donations to Tzu Chi.
I am grateful to the Master and the Tzu Chi brothers and sisters. They help us and bring us whatever we need.
The Jingsi aphorism on the donation receipt is also a source of encouragement for He.
如果影响不了别人，就做你自己该做的事吧。哦，你现在该做的事就是好好的把这个伤养好。
你现在唯一就是把自己照顾好，
把你照顾好。
To prevent burn scar contracture, burn victims go through rehab under the guidance of therapists. At Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, one burn victim, Ms. Zhang, who is a member of a student sign language club, practices sign language as a form of rehab.
I practice once or twice for my mom every day. I think it helps to maintain the flexibility of my hands. It is a relaxing form of rehab, and I feel good about it.
Another burn victim, Ms. Peng, is an outgoing nursing student. She often invites other burn victims to join her in doing rehab.
I told him to drink milk. He cannot refuse to drink milk. I also told him, how can you be weaker than me? We make progress together. The more we walk, the more progress we make.
The Bali Water Park burn victims are undergoing rehab in different ways. However, each works hard and faces their trials honestly as they look forward to starting a new chapter in their life soon.
The series of chemical explosions which rocked the industrial city of Tianjin, China last week severely affected the lives of several migrant workers in the region. Following, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived in Binghai New area to provide support and also distributed consolation cash to subsidize the victims' transportation costs as they head back to their hometowns. Thank you for watching Tzu Chi This Week. Goodbye.